I've won a lot, but I failed a lot. I've cried in this business. I know it sounds funny, but this business has taken a lot out of me, but it's put a lot into me.
What do farming and real estate have in common? They both require patience, grit, and a tolerance for things that don't go as planned. Neither one cares about your feelings. I'm Jen Way. This is Cows and Contracts.
Travis, thank you so much for joining us here on Cows and Contracts. I really appreciate you making the time to come out and share your wisdom and knowledge with my community. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you. I'm a small market guy, so when I heard cows and contracts, I was all on it. Like literally this morning in my neighborhood, like this is how you know this is real. So there was a news report this morning, and it said road blocked, cows blocking road. So I'm perfect. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Run of the mill for us country folk, right?
that's right.
Travis, as you know, here on our podcast, we aim to show the real side, right? Talk about not just all the success that we've had and how awesome we are. We're going to talk about mistakes and show people really how real estate and just life run. All right. I do want to give you a chance, though, to tell everybody who you are and why they should even keep listening to this episode.
Sure, I love that, and I'm happy to. Tell you who I am. So I'm born and raised in West Virginia. Like I said before, very small town. Like the place I grew up in is under like 1,000 people when I lived there. I think it's growing a little now. Everybody's moving to the country. So, but you should listen to me because I'm really doing this business every day. I'm not some big guru. You're not going to see me yet sponsored on a bunch of ads. I'm going to give you the truth. Like Jen said, I've failed a lot. I've won a lot, but I failed a lot. I've cried in this business. I know it sounds funny, but this business has taken a lot out of me, but it's put a lot into me. So that's why you should listen to me.
And I've been impressed with the way that you've been able to guide people in that small market, right? A lot of gurus, coaches, whatever you want to call us all. It's always about those big numbers, right? And those big checks and look at me, flat, and all of us know that it's nonsense, especially if you're new. Yeah. That's not how it works. Not for 5 or 10 years down the road, guys. All right. You got to put in the work. And that's one of the things that I really love about you is that you're not trying to pretend like you're anything else. And you're really helping the folks that are getting started out because small market, kind of a no-brainer, really easy to become the expert in a small market. Not everybody else is targeting small markets, so you also tend to be one of the only ones. You're one of the only people I know that's really focused on that. So I will say, guys, he's not lying. I've been very impressed by this the entire time I've been watching you. So appreciate you coming on here to share everything with everybody.
Oh, wow. If you guys are watching this, you can see me blushing now. Jen's always making me blush. Thank you, Jen.
I'm a saleswoman. It's what I'm good at, then.
I know. Are the best, right?
So let's start right off the top. Question 1. Travis, what is something in your career that you were 1,000% sure you were right, and then you found out you were wrong?
It's a good question. That's a question that makes you think. I know we went over this a little bit, and I've been trying to think about it, and it's really hard to come up with an answer for this one. I wish I would have looked at that email. You gave me a good lesson from here on out to always read emails. Don't just click links, guys. You don't know what you're signing up for. But no, I really think that like with real estate, I thought it was all about houses. Like I didn't, I didn't come from like a real estate background or, a bunch of rental properties in my family. So when I was getting into real estate, I was in it for the wrong reasons because, I wanted to make a bunch of money and I thought it was all about the house. So I was in appointments. I was beating people up about their house and it needs this, this, and this. I didn't even know. I was just like, it looks bad. Gosh, look at that hole in that floor, and there's a place for that, I guess, but I think I was wrong, and it's a people business, definitely wholesaling. Now, if you're fixing and flipping, yeah, there's a lot more houses involved. But if you're wholesaling, it's a people business. I think that's my best answer for that one, Jen.
And unfortunately, I think that's a very true answer for a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, we go into real estate as an investor thinking it's about real estate, right? It's about the improvements. It's about the size of the house or the trim of the house or where the land is located, or can it be a rental, or is it a good flip? Or a lot of people think that that's what this is about.
Right.
And for me, I know you see this too, because you and I have talked about this a lot on some calls. That's why people start phone calls with leads at price,
Mm-hmm.
because they think that it's about the product,
Yeah.
right? And sure, in traditional sales environments, it's about the product. The unfortunate part is people think when they think product, they don't realize you're the product,
Yeah.
right? As a real estate investor, you are the thing that you're actually trying to sell,
Yeah.
what value you can add. So 100%, it's a people business, no doubt.
Yeah.
Um, when you realized that, what changed?
A situation. I remember going into a house, and I remember, it was when I was an acquisition manager. Before I was a wholesaler, when I was working with a flip company, I was the acquisition manager. They would pretty much use me. No hard feelings to these guys, I love them, okay, but they would pretty much use me for the houses that the other acquisition manager didn't want to go to. Travis was going out and learning and just meeting people. And I remember I met somebody, and I heard their situation, and they really opened up to me. From the moment I walked in, there was no real, it was just pretty much they just started telling me everything. And that was my first deal. And I realized I didn't even do anything. Like, I didn't negotiate. It was just pretty much like, I'm here to help you, and that was it. So that's what did it, and ever since then I don't have that approach.
So when you go in to talk to somebody about their property, what do you ask them first?
What's the well, besides introducing myself, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
so,
besides what's your name, right? And what's
well,
your
yeah, appreciate you. What's going on? What brings us here today?
what's going on?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it
Right?
changes. Like, it's not always the same thing. Like Jen says, we don't use scripts. It's all natural, but it's always the same type of intent. What's going on?
What is the situation? Why have you called me?
Yeah, why am
Right?
I here out of all the people today?
Yeah, why me?
Mhm.
And man, I feel like no matter how many mountaintops we get on and scream on neon lights, that it really takes people having to do that, or to have that experience, to wrap themselves really around this, right? I train people all the time that if you're worried about the price before you know why, just pass that lead on to me. I'll go get the deal instead.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever selling to us because of the prices that we offer to them.
Yeah.
Finding out why, listening to who they are, figuring out what it is that we can do to actually help them. But this all starts with creating an environment where they're going to tell you the truth too,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So, guys, you heard it here first, right? Travis has had a lot of success. Don't let his introduction of who he is fool you. Guy's a killer when it comes to real estate. All right, he's maybe not Pace Morby yet, but neither am I, and neither are most of you listening to this call. So, don't let him pretend like he's not as cool as he is, though. Really great at finding really great deals and maximizing the profit of his deals, more
Yes.
importantly. And we do this through relationships, like he just said. All
Yes.
right. We don't go in here looking at the house, worried about the price, worry about the people first.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent lesson.
Hmm.
Travis, question 2.
Okay.
What is something that you're doing? And please feel free to share personal, business, both. Doesn't matter which one, if you've got one for each. Something consistent that you're actually doing every single day, every week, whatever the consistent nature of it is, that everybody listening can do right now to change themselves or change their business?
Okay. I like this question a lot, and I have two different perspectives. I have my life perspective, then I have my business perspective, if I can share both. I know it's kind of two different answers.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll go business first because that's not as important. We'll keep the best for last. Business is just, like what Jen does. I have a rule. I have to talk to people every day. And I like to talk to at least a minimum of 5 people a day and have meaningful conversations. We're in a day where social media rewards us for being that. A top contributor, I'm a top engager. So, that's important to me, is to have that meaningful conversation. So that means, Jen, are you interested in selling? Yeah, call me later. No, that's not a meaningful conversation, you know. But if she opens up to me, we have a really good conversation. That's what I count as meaningful. So I'm looking for at least 5 meaningful conversations a day that I can lead to an offer. Like, that's what a meaningful conversation is to me. I have plenty of conversations, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm not a guy that just throws numbers out to anybody. I want to have a good conversation before I give an offer out, right? Like, that's fair.
What happens when you've dialed all the phone numbers in your CRM, all the follow up, but you haven't gotten to five?
What happens if I haven't gotten the 5? I'm reaching out to new people. I think it's important, if you really want to be honest, you need to have 5 meaningful conversations that's follow-ups a day and 5 new conversations with new people a day. So you need to have 10 meaningful conversations a day, okay? If you want to be specific, because you really do have to have those conversations every day. That's what gets the business to the next level, but not just those conversations. Meaningful conversations that lead to offers. Because if you're not giving offers and you're just talking to people, you're wasting your time, you're not making any money, and you won't be in business long. I wish it wasn't like that, but guys, it's hard, okay? Um, but yeah, so have those meaningful conversations. That's my business, no matter what. That's what changed the game for me, is when I was sitting around in my CRM and trying to make everything look perfect and plan ahead. I wasn't making any money, but as soon as I started focusing on people and conversations and offers, everything changed. Okay.
So, what are some sources, like if I've dialed everything in my CRM and I'm doing direct mail,
Okay.
but I need to talk to one more person? What should I do?
So you're doing direct mail, you said.
Yeah, let's just say I have 3 brand new leads come in overnight. So I've talked to these 3 people. I did all my follow up during my time block that's for phone calling, which we should have every single day on our calendars, right, guys? A time block that is only for dialing phone numbers. We're
Mm-hmm.
not trying to do this randomly. It is scheduled into our day every single day.
Mm-hmm.
If you have dialed everything, but you haven't gotten to the number of conversations you need, what are you going to do to get those next conversations?
Oh, that's a good question. So I do a few different things, okay? So I like to utilize relationships. I'm reaching out to other wholesalers that I know, other
There we go.
investors that I know. I'm reaching out to my agent. I'm reaching out to anybody, even like online. I'll do a post online. I love to utilize Facebook groups, not just the investor groups, but your local buy and sell in these small markets. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll see me doing this all the time, and I've done it for like 5, 6 years now, okay? So everybody in these local groups, they've seen my name. I've met people in person and they've said, I've seen your name in these Facebook groups, but I thought you was a scammer. They see you, but you get leads from this. And you get people messaging you in these small markets. I don't know about these big, gigantic markets. I don't even know if they exist, these type of groups, okay? But these small community groups, you can look for, what's it called? Like, what's the cities have and the towns? They have these what's it
Next
called?
door.
Neighborhood watch groups.
Next door.
Yeah, like stuff. But I don't know about next door, but like in my community, let's say there's a place called Mayberry. It's Andy Griffith. So, you'll have the Mayberry community group or neighborhood watch group. And this is just people in these neighborhoods that are there to post when somebody's knocking on the door that's
Yep.
suspicious. And I like to go in those groups and say, hey, I'm local. I'm looking to buy a house. Does anybody know anybody? Can you help a neighbor?
That's
Right.
brilliant.
Yeah, so I like to do stuff like that when I've reached oh my gosh, I've reached all my follow-ups today. Tomorrow's follow-ups, I don't want to go through them yet. I'm trying to stay on, that's what I do. I try to create some curiosity and engagement. Like every day I set automated sequences for agents. Okay. Cause I don't like to do text messages, but I can text agents because their phone number's blasted
Yeah.
online. So, you build your sequence. So let's say you get 250 local agents in your sequence. And then you start reaching out to them and you can start building relationships that way. And I get leads like that just from, I don't text them, my automation does, you know. So that's
That's
things that I do to gather leads besides my own leads. Because, like you said, if you're doing direct mail, there'll be a day or two where you might not get a lead. Maybe you can't do 5 conversations that day unless you are at being proactive and hunting.
and unfortunately, I think that that's when people hear, you have to make this many offers, you need to talk to this many people. A lot of people are like, but I don't have them on my CRM. And so they just feel like I can't do that. You can do that. And a whole nother source, this is my favorite one, pull up the for sale by owners, guys.
There you go.
These people have already said, I would like to sell my property,
No,
right? Call them. What's the worst thing they're going to do? Say no?
no. That's a good thing. You need people to say no. You need to hear that as much as you can anyway.
Exactly. You got to thicken that skin.
Yep.
Okay. 5 meaningful conversations a day. And I really need to point something out here that Travis said. I know all of you have heard every guru at YouTube, whatever you're watching and listening to, talk about this idea of making 5 offers a day. 5 offers a day is fantastic. All right. If you're doing that, awesome. You're ahead of the game. Let's be real clear here, though, that Travis said 5 meaningful conversations with offers. Okay, guys? Because just throwing numbers out at people without actually knowing what they need, without knowing that you could go to 60 days instead of 30 and give them a little bit more money because you got a little bit more time, without realizing that you could just make a down payment and then make payments to them instead of having to come in all cash. It's not always about the price that you're offering. It's also about the type of offer. Having that meaningful conversation is what gets you the information you need to actually present the offer that is going to get the yes. And sometimes that's not just the price. That's the alternative parts of the offer as well, right? Timeline, seller financing, subject to, there's just so many different ways that you can wiggle around this.
Yeah.
So I want to be very clear here. If you're making 5 offers a day, awesome. Don't stop that. Now let's take it up a notch. Let's attach this to conversations. And if you're not making 5 offers a day, change that right now, because this is going to change your career. Travis, you said you had 2. What's the other thing?
Yeah, the other thing is life, and it's something that I'm working on, Jen. Everything's a work in progress with me, right? That's the way it is.
You.
But with life, I'm really I'm trying to do better at, taking time away from my phone in the evenings or in the mornings and staying away from my phone. And I'm trying to do a good job at this, and I'm sure my family would say otherwise, but I need to do a better job at that family time, because I enjoy when I'm reading when I wake up and I'm taking care of my animals, my dogs, I'm feeding them, taking them out, and then I'm reading a book, and then I'm journaling a little bit, and the days that I do before I get to work, really sit down with my family, even if it's just for a few, 15, 20 minutes. I find that those days go a lot smoother when not balance, but that harmony. And it's hard to find. I'm searching on it, searching for that harmony every day. But that's what I'm working on that makes me happier and makes my business better. It makes me feel good when I'm on appointments and talking to sellers on those days. So I want more of those days in my life.
What's the point of all of it if we're not?
Right.
Why are we doing all this if we're not going to actually smell the roses at the same time?
Amen.
Right? Like, I know that for years and years and years, everybody screamed, work, 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 work harder, longer hours, right? And it was like a badge of honor. I put 80 hours in this week.
Hmm.
Ugh. Makes me want to shove pencils in both my eyes at the same time. 80
Right.
hours of work this week. And
What does Tom say? Tom Kroll, he says hustle is a season, not a lifestyle, right?
yes, yes. You know, Tom's my mentor, right?
Oh, Tom's a good mentor, man. Tom's a good guy. I mean, I remember I've looked up to him since Wholesaling Inc. He was one of the first people I found with wholesaling. I got one of his bells in the mail once and thought it's up on my shelf. Like, man, Tom's a good guy.
Man, I was so stubborn with him when we first started working together. I was like, you're wrong, I'm right. I was so much like that when we first started working together. And woo, the
He's a truth
humility that
teller.
the humility that has come out of me towards Tom is he's probably gotten the most of it of anybody I've ever known for sure.
Yeah.
I was full Taurus with him when
Oh
we
yeah.
started working together. So yes, guys, it's all a season actually,
Yeah.
right? Everything.
That's right.
It's okay to work really hard for a season. That's okay. All right. Do not let it be a year. Don't let it be multiple seasons. All right. Work hard and then stop for a second.
Yeah.
You can always schedule another season of hustle. Okay. You can always do that. But if you drain the battery, there's nothing left for anyone. And if you let your personal life be destroyed by the thing that's supposed to be making your personal life better, that's your fault.
Yep.
We're all out here saying this now. Okay? Nobody's actually standing here with the badge of honor of working 100 hours. None of us are doing that anymore. I just actually read something, guy promoting the 4-hour work week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because AI
Oh
is
yeah.
changing everything.
He needs that book needs rewritten for now.
Right?
For all this new stuff, it could turn 4-hour work week to oh man, like an hour work week.
4-minute work week. Right?
Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea.
I'll tell you, I, I've had AI give me so much of my time back. It's not even funny.
Me too.
And all I'm doing with that is transferring it back to seller calls,
Hmm.
right? So instead of my day being consumed by work I need to do for my business, I'm almost back to like when I was an acquisitions manager only, which is the part I actually liked, right? If if you're the kind of person that likes to sit at the computer and run your numbers and do all this admin stuff, like good for you. That's not me.
Yeah.
Travis, I don't think that's you either, right? We'd rather just be out. I'd rather just be walking through houses with people or networking or doing a
Yeah.
RIA or literally anything besides sitting at my computer. And so
Yeah.
it's given me the chance to actually take that back. And so what I'm finding really interesting is that this also ties into the bigger message here, right? Guys, you better know how to be a human and really, really human,
Yeah.
right? And there's no better way to do that but to actually spend time with humans and talk to people and not sit on the internet and get all of your advice from videos. Go to your local meetups, go shake hands with people, go meet your sellers if you can, go meet the agents, buy them coffee, make friends,
That's where the
right?
people are. That's where your circle's at. You haven't met them yet, and you'll never meet them if you just. I mean, you can meet great people online. I
You
mean,
can.
I met Jen. I mean, that's great. You can network. It's awesome, but there's so many people out there. And you're meant to connect with them. There's different paths in life, and like it's like one of those like in the movies and the stories. You choose how your story ends.
You absolutely do. And I say it all the time, guys. Ready is not a feeling,
Oh no, yeah,
it's a decision. Okay? So it's up to you. If you decide you're going to make this work for you, or are you going to work for it? Right? That part's up to you. Travis, thank you so much for joining us here today. Always a good time talking to you, man. We should just
Likewise.
hang out more often, maybe.
We should.
Yes. So, is there anything else? Guys, I'm absolutely going to include in the show notes here and in the details all of the information on how you find Travis. Follow him in his free community. Absolutely. All right. He's giving out stuff he should be charging people for, but he's not. Travis, anything else that you want to leave our listeners with? Please tell us exactly the name of your community and what that all is. And guys, like I said, all of the details will be in the notes here, but please share that information so people know how they can find you.
Yeah, that's cool. I appreciate you, and I'm happy to connect with you anytime you want, and we can do these over and over again and give all the value away, and I appreciate it. But yeah, small market real estate investing on Facebook. You go on there, you can join it for free. We do a bunch of weekly calls, and one weekly call. But yeah, stay in touch. I don't know. Message me on Facebook if you ever get anything in West Virginia, like any deals in West Virginia. I'd love to be your West Virginia guy.
You already are. You
Yeah.
didn't know that? Yeah,
Yeah.
you already are the West Virginia. Remember when we first talked? I told you I'm from Ohio.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We make fun of you guys all the time.
I know. We make money. You guys can't drive, so it's all good.
That's right, right? Yeah. No, that's probably true. I was back in Ohio for my niece's wedding recently. That's actually true. Yeah, they can't drive.
I don't think anybody but West Virginians can drive on this West Virginia road, so it's all right. I get it.
Well, I'm out here in Colorado, man. We only got one highway that goes north and south, so I'm getting the worst drivers all the time, right? So
But you live in a true small market, that's for sure.
yes, you said 1,000 people, and it literally Beulah, 1,000 permanent residents, right?
Yeah.
I'm outside of my little mountain town, but there's only 1,000 permanent residents in that town. And I'll tell you guys right now, every single person who wants to sell their house, they call Jill or Jen.
Yep.
They know Jill's the agent, Jen's the investor. They all know it.
Go.
And that's just because I went to the Christmas party and the potluck and I didn't go to any real estate events to make sure that Beulah knew who I was, right? It's brilliant, guys. Travis, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming here and joining us today. Guys, read the notes, go find Travis, listen to the things he has to say. I'm telling you, he's giving away secrets that he should be charging you people for. Travis, thank you so much, man. Have a great rest of your day. I'm Jen Way. I was going to study dolphins. Turns out real estate and cows are more profitable. See you next week.